The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 and don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to it. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What is up, family? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing great today. Good morning, Seiko. Good morning. How are you? How are you? Selmo, good morning, man. Good morning, man. Hope you're doing well. Yes, it is hump day, man. Halfway there, halfway to the grind, man. Halfway through it. What's up, XXI? Good morning, man. Good morning. Glad to see you last night on the space, man. Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well today. Everybody's saying good morning to everybody. Good morning, man. So, man, I missed out yesterday. I had a day full of meetings. It was crazy yesterday, so missed out yesterday. So we're going to get back after it today, though. We're going to do our thing today. See what these markets got for us today. See what's going on in this crypto world. See what's going on in the stock market world. See what's going on. Doc, good morning. Good morning. Doc got a space today at noon, y'all. We're going to talk about some general crypto, some MMAI, and some general crypto stuff, guys. So make sure you're there. Make sure you're there. Tune in, man. Lock in, guys. Because these markets are a little crazy. But yo, got the pre-markets. They look decent today. But keep in mind, today's FOMC day. We're gonna see what happens with FOMC and rate increases today. CPI data looked pretty good yesterday. No surprises there. It was pretty much as expected. Pretty much as expected. No surprise. I still expect a pause today. Clint, good morning. Good morning, Clint. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody in your family's doing well. Hope everything's going good for you. But pre-markets look good, but today is CPI day. Today is FOMC day. Yesterday was CPI day. CPI came in, as expected. No surprises, no nothing, there. So, Ken, good morning. Good morning. But FOMC day, I expect a pause today. I expect no rate increases at all. I expect us to hold the line where we're at. I don't expect anything. I think if we do get a rate increase today, you'll see the markets tank, but I don't see it happening. Not today, but July I do. I think we'll get a pause today, rate increase in July. And the reason I think we're going to get a rate increase in July is because I think you're going to see, inflation coming down a little bit as expected, but I think you're going to see a strong jobs market again. And the stronger the jobs market, the more runway the FOMC has for rate increases. So job market's strong, guys, and this is one of the issues here with these rate increases is as long as we got that strong job market, and as long as people are producing jobs, gives these guys a lot of runway to continue to do what they're doing. But I'm still worried about stagflation, inflation going up, and wages not going up with it. So that's still a big concern. They got to walk a fine line, guys, and that's the danger of where we're at right now. The Asian markets, they closed really strong last night, this morning, whenever, depending on what time zone you're in. European markets look really, really strong today. They actually look a little bit stronger than the United States markets, in the United States pre-market piece of this. So, yeah, the stock markets look really good. Everything looks good, but everything is really based on this FOMC meeting today. And I say this every time we have an FOMC meeting. Nobody cares what the rate increase is. It's all about the press conference after and about where we're headed. The stock market and the crypto market is forward looking. It doesn't look backwards, it looks forwards. So, they're always forward looking. So it's always about that press conference and about what's coming next, right? And is anything that's said during that press conference give anybody any insight into any unexpected rate increases or any unexpected, longer rate increases or anything like that. So it's really about the press conference. And you usually see a dip when the press conference starts, and then either a bigger dip or a rally after it's over. Those emails yesterday, taking his a contract, etc. We'll get into them emails. I'll share a video with you guys, and we'll watch it. We'll talk about it from the lawyer. I think I'm kind of disappointed in the Hinman emails. I expect a little bit more meat. I expect a little bit more. For as hard as they fought to get them emails out there, for as hard as Ripple fought, for as hard as the SEC fought against it, you would have thought that there would have been a little bit more meat to them emails. I mean, we all knew the SEC was corrupt, right? But there was some meat there, but there I was expecting some bombshells, right? And we didn't really get them bombshells out of the email, in my opinion. Somebody else may think a little differently, but I didn't see it. I think you see with XRP here, got buy the rumor, sell the news, right? This thing was up to 56 cents yesterday. It's a classic. Everybody knew that the emails were coming out. Everybody was buying that rumor and they were selling that news, and you dropped 6 cents. But you got to expect that, in these markets, in any markets, it's always buy the rumor, sell the news. So, but you're still holding that line at 50 cents for the XRP. So it's a good thing. Anytime we're above that 50 cent mark, it's a really good thing. Bitcoin sitting at like 25.9. So we dropped under that 26,000. You got total market cap sitting here of 1,058 billion. It's been hovering between this 50 and 60, 1,050 and $60 billion mark. So we're just kind of trading sideways in this channel that we've been in since the market dump. I don't even want to call it a market dump, market manipulation. Call it what it is. That happened. But you look at BNB starting to make comeback. This thing was down in the 220s, high 220s, 230s. You're up to 248 right now. Starting to make a little bit of a comeback. Starting to raise itself up a little bit. Not much, but anytime it's holding strong right now, given where Binance is, it's strong for BNB, right? So, it's starting to make a comeback a little bit. It's up 4.7% on a 24-hour, which is a big increase. So 4%, 4%'s a lot when you start talking about an increase. So it's a big increase. CZ's fighting back, and that's gonna make BNB a little volatile up and down. When CZ fights back and he puts out some stuff that goes against the SEC, you'll probably see BNB run. And when the SEC comes back and they put out some stuff that they have on CZ, you'll probably see BNB go down a little bit. So you're gonna be in this channel for a little while. But the market looks strong today. Looks pretty good. Um, as strong as it can look with the market cap that it has. Cardano still taking a whooping. It's still taking a whooping. I don't know how else to say that. Some of these cryptos are just getting beat down. Which is a good thing for investors. It's a good thing for investors because it gives them a chance to get in at a rate in which they probably didn't expect to see. But some of these are just straight up taking a whooping, man. What's the real reason Gary's now against a crypto? I think that Gary probably my opinion is that Gary wants the big institutions to run crypto. He wants these cryptocurrency exchanges to go away so that he can insert Fidelities and JP Morgans and things like that. So he's doing whatever he can to make these cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States go away. And obviously Binance being the biggest, that they got the biggest target on their back. It doesn't help that CZ's probably dirty in this situation. Doesn't help his argument, but I think that's Gary's motive, is to get these cryptocurrencies back to these big institutions where the government can control them, and they can control the funds, they can control the movement of funds. I think that's the deal. I think Gary's got a mandate. He's got a mandate from his big boss sitting up there in the White House, and they want complete control of your money, and I think that's the motive. Army guy, what's going on, man? How are you, man? Good morning, man. Glad to see you. What's up, everybody? It's been a while. It has stuff's been I hope you're taking care of yourself, man. I know life gets crazy every once in a while with work, family, life in general, man. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourself, man. Glad to see you back in the morning, Army guy, man. Appreciate you. Life gets crazy. Take care of life first, man. Life first, man. Investments will always be there. We'll always be here. Take care of life first, man, and stay healthy and make sure everybody else is healthy too, man. Is it because it's a lot harder for the in power? Well, Clint, it changes the power structure, right? Like if people are over here making millions of dollars in crypto, and they're the people that are not supposed to be making millions of dollars in crypto, it does change the power structure a little bit. We talked a little bit about this last night on a space. When you look at the amount of millionaires that Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, even Bitcoin, if you bought in it way back in the day, that they minted, that changes the power structure within the world, right? Like believe it or not, like everybody wants you to do good until you do good, and then all of a sudden people start to look at you in a different way, right? And I expressed yesterday on the space, I have some real life experience with that. Like I grew up dirt poor, right? And when I started to make money, the same people that were cheering me on were the same people that were looking at me funny when I'm sitting in places that I didn't normally sit in, right? So it does disrupt the power structure a little bit, and they don't want that. People in power like to have everything the way that they want it, and they like to have it structured the way that it is now because they don't want anything to disrupt that. And once you start minting new millionaires, it disrupts that power structure, and crypto gives the average person the ability to do that, and that scares the hell out of a lot of people. We've talked about that a lot here, and that's why you see a lot of powerful people in high places want to I don't even want to say they want to eliminate crypto, but they want to control it. They want to control it so that doesn't happen, right? Oh my God, this crypto this crypto market market isn't helping. No, this crypto market is not helping anybody who's going through something right now. This market is crazy. It's going up and down. So um I heard Gary got most of his money working at Goldman Sachs. Yeah, Gary was big time at Goldman Sachs. He was a big time dude over there at Goldman Sachs. So Gary's not hurting for money. Believe you me, he's not. And when he's done, with the SEC, he'll be sitting in another high place. So yeah, thank you, Clit. Yeah, smash that like button, guys. Yeah, Selmo, and he was and he was shilling as as recent as 2019. Yeah, he there's a video out where Gary was calling Bitcoin, Ethereum, I think it was Bitcoin Cash, and a whole bunch of other ones, commodities, in a presentation that he gave. So good morning, Elmo. How are you, brother? How are you? Good morning, Elmo. Yes, Elmo is in the building. Elmo is definitely in the building. So we love to see Elmo in the morning because I know Elmo's on a grind. Elmo's grinding, man. Elmo's one of the hardest working dudes around. So when he joins us in the morning, even though he's driving, he's on the grind. I see YouTube reduced. I see YouTube reduce the amount of viewing to 3,000 hours. Oh, did they, Ken? I didn't even know because I met my watch hours, so like I wouldn't get that notice. But yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad, man. Anytime anybody can get monetized and take care of things, I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to be monetized because it gives your channel a little bit more protection. So if they reduce to watch hours of 3,000, that's cool. But yo, this channel right here, with y'all help, man, we way over that. We're in the 5,000 range. Guys, just get the subs right now. So Dr. Rob, I'm good, brother. Just a high temp at work. All right, Army guy, man. I'm glad to hear you good, man. I'm glad to see you back, man. Glad to see you back with us. Missed you on Spaces a little bit. Missed you up in here a little bit. So I'm glad to see you back, man. But make sure you take care of yourself too, man. Don't whatever it is, man. Make sure you take care of yourself. If you don't make this money quickly, you got me and Rob, me and Doc have been talking about this for a while, guys. When regulation comes, the days of your 100x, 1000x, they're over. They're going to look at these things like the stock market. They're going to try their best to regulate them like the stock market. And I can tell you from somebody who trades in the stock market for a long time, a 3% gain, that's a good day. That's a good week with certain stocks. So make your money, man. Make your money now, and try your best to get as much as you possibly can before regulation kicks in, because regulation will stop a lot of what's going on right now. Crypto market is wild, and Army guy, crypto market is wilding the hell out, man. But you know what? It is, man. It's wilding. But this I look at this as a because I'm a businessman, so I look at this as part of business, right? Whenever you start a new business, there's growing pains to that. You got to figure out what regulations you fit under. You have to figure out what the growth is. You have to figure out how you're gonna run it. And I think cryptocurrency is in that growth phase where everything they do is new, right? Crypto is so new and everything that they do is new. So nobody knows how to regulate it. Nobody knows, what the capability of blockchain is. Nobody knows, what's going on. So like there's this pull and tug between new technology and new innovation in an old mindset. So you're gonna have this fight going back and forth about how you do it and what's best, right? And we're in the middle of that fight, and we get to witness the fight. And to me, that's exciting to watch not only the United States but the world have this debate back and forth about the future of technology and the future of blockchain. The only problem I see with the debate is the United States is falling behind on the debate when everybody else is moving forward. Keep your head up, bro. Yeah, Army guy, keep your head up, man. This is doggy dog world out here, man. And most importantly, man, just stay healthy. There's always money to be made. There's always money to be made. There's always plays to be had in this trading thing. But you can't make them if your mind ain't right or your body ain't right, man. So stay up, man. Keep your head up, man. Come over here for some positive encouragement, whatever you got going on, man, because that's what we do here, and we try to look out for everybody on the channel and make sure that everybody's good, man. Only 3 likes and 12 people. Yeah, guys, come on, go ahead, smash that like button. Got to get us up in the algorithm, man. So Elmo, yeah. Mine says 4 likes. Still ain't 12. It still's not 12. Yep. 3,000 hours, 3,000 hours and 500 followers. Wow. Well, if that's the case, 500 followers, we already there. I didn't get that email. I don't know if that's something completely brand new, because if it's 500 followers, we done blasted through that. We are 926, guys, which means we're so close to that 1,000, man. I can't wait to get this money away. I can't wait to have a party. I was a homeless veteran in 2010, but stumbled on 10K. You just stumbled on it, Selmo. You just like tripped over 10K, laying on the sidewalk in that time. BTC was about 40 cents. Damn, Selmo. Go ahead, man. I didn't get in. You missed it. You didn't get in. But yeah. So someone just says like he stumbled over 10K, like he just walked over it on the sidewalk, right? Like he just stumbled over top of it, right? Like I like how someone put that. I was homeless in 2010. I was walking down the sidewalk, man, and I just kind of like tripped over 10K, right? 500 followers. Daniel, are you good? Are you good then? Yeah, if that's the case, I gotta look into that. I'm surprised that YouTube didn't send me an email. I was checking my email this morning. I didn't see anything about it. So 100. 100. I appreciate all y'all. Army guy, we got your back, man. We got your back. Whatever that is, we got your back, man. Whatever you need, we're all family here. So, we got you, man. We should still push for 1,000. Oh yeah, definitely. Somewhat laughing at me, but yeah, the market looks good today, guys. It looks, as good as it can look. It's down. Like I said, green is green, right? But a lot of people take green. But are you in a green? Just because the chart says you're is green today doesn't mean that you're necessarily in a green, right? Depending on where you're at and depending on how you invested, the chart is one thing and your pocket is another. So it's not hard to be green after a big letdown that we just had a couple days ago. So understand that. Don't let the chart dictate whether you think it's a green day for you. A lot of times these red days, my bags are green because of where I bought. So, green's not green for everybody and red's not red for everybody. All my eggs and hope are are on MMAI. Yeah, you know, MMAI is top three in my bags. So I have a lot of hopes and dreams in MMAI. Think they're going to do fine. I think they're going to do good. I think we're, they're going to mint some millionaires. Um, you know, but Meta Week's coming, and we gotta I think we're gonna do well at Meta Week. And I think Meta Week's gonna be a big week for MMAI. There's a paper, Selmo, there's a paper out too about the DApps. MMAI put a paper out about some of the DApps they're working on. And I know that you're interested in that the drone technology aspect of that, and there is they touch on that in that paper. So you might want to go ahead and grab that, go to MMAI's Twitter and grab that paper and read up on some of that drone technology that they're gonna have out in one of these apps, DApps on their wallet, and go ahead and stay up on that, because they mention that a lot in there. So you might want to take care of that and look at that, because I know it's something you're interested in. My bags are looking like shit. Oh, Elmo. They'll come back. I played the game a lot, Elmo. Like when this market was dipping, when it was being manipulated. I don't even want to say when it was dipping, when it was being manipulated. I played the game a lot. Like I sold and bought back in when they reset the floor, much like we talked about last night on the space, how I thought the market was being manipulated. So I sold a lot and bought back in on at the floor. So obviously it's come up. So I'm all right. Got that bone too. Yeah. Bone is bone's down right now. My bone bags aren't down, because obviously I bought a lot of my bone around the 30-cent level, 35-cent level, but bone's taking a little hit right now. And the thing about it is Shibarium needs to come out. Shib needs to quit playing. Shibarium needs to come out. It's too long now. At some point, we talk about these projects. At some point, you got to produce, right? And Shib's no different. At some point, Shibarium has to come out. They have to produce. It has to work, and it has to be worth the wait. It needs to come out sooner rather than later. I think that. I think the wallet game in metaverse can in blockchain. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot during Meta Week. I think you're going to see a lot of what MMAI was talking about during Meta Week, as far as upgrades and advancements and things like that. I think you're going to see a lot of that during Meta Week. And I referenced this last night, like Apple, and I don't compare MMAI to Apple. It's just a marketing strategy, right? When Apple come out with their goggles, right? They didn't release them prior to the event. So what's the sense of going to the? Well, what would be the sense of going to the event if all the information was released before the event, right? So Meta Week's going to be a big week. So I think Meta Week has to be a big week. We talk about it in terms of it's going to be a big week. Meta Week has to be a big week. So, and I think it will be. I don't think you spend $40,000 on the table to shake hands and say hi. You can do that in a 10x10 booth and spend a couple grand. I think you spend $40,000 on a booth because you have something to bring to the table. Timsky, good morning. Good morning, brother. DApp's got it. DApp's got it. Yeah, there's a paper out, Selma, and it goes into a lot of the DApps that are going to be in the wallet, and that's one of them. And I know you're interested in that, and so I want to make sure that we bring that to you so that you can read up on that, stay up on it. So, man, 100. one man 100 and a one track mind. Yeah, I we got to do what we got to do, man. So like I think we we got to keep it real, right? Got to keep it 100. And you know, I'm not gonna Kool-Aid things for you. I'm gonna keep it 100 for you, whether I'm invested in a project or not. Uh, just checked, and it's not it's not it's not implemented. It's not implemented yet. My bad. YouTube is set to discuss. And okay, so it's not fully implemented yet. All right, thanks, Ken. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that, man. Uh, bubbles turned green. No, I turned it to from 24-hour to the hour. So on the hour they're green. On the 24-hour they're still a little red. When you get to the day, they're still a little red. But you come over here to the hour, they look a little bit better. People are starting to wake up. The Asian markets went to sleep. American markets are starting to wake up. So in this transition period between markets, the European markets and the American markets are starting to put their money in. Army guy, hopefully Meta Week brings in the Korean Asian markets. I'm hoping, Army guy, that that Meta Week, like I don't think, and I've said this before because I don't want people's expectations to be crazy for Meta Week. I think Meta Week is a way for MMAI to showcase their technology, right, to the masses, right? But do I expect huge buys on the chart? I don't, not right away. I think that what we'll see is over a longer term. I think that you'll see people, if they put on a good show, you'll see people start to come in as the utilities start to roll out, right? I think you'll get more people following the project. And then I think as people start to become more and more comfortable with the project in the Asian and Korean markets, and obviously with NS Labs being over there, you have a little bit of a leg up on that. I think as people start to get more comfortable with it, you'll start to see more and more investors come out of that Meta Week. I don't expect to see a big price impact on the chart the week of Meta Week. I just don't. I expect to see a bigger price increase on the chart as the Pure Wallet comes out and people start to buy the cold storage feature than I do a Meta Week. But I think Meta Week long term will pay dividends. Yes, Army guy. That's what we're hoping. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping to see that market. But I don't want to set people's expectations up that Meta Week is going to see. You're going to see a big spike on the chart. I just don't, that's too hard to predict. But it's all about name recognition and getting more people to look into your project, right? That's what these events are about. So I think that'll happen. So I think we're going to see articles where MMAI steals the show. Crypto Benny, good morning. I think MMAI is going to steal the show out there in Meta Week. I really do. I think that they're going to. Be one of the headliners of the show, when it's all said and done. Working remotely today. Okay, Crypto Benny, go ahead, man. Working in pajamas, man. That's the best part of working remote. You throw on a nice shirt, keep your pajamas on. Get it and go to work, man. So I want to kind of talk about this too, Binance. We talked about this a little bit last night. In case anybody's behind on the news, the U.S. judge here agreed not to freeze Binance U.S. assets, which was an actual win for Binance. The SEC wanted these assets froze, basically shutting down Binance U.S. from any trading whatsoever, and the judge just didn't see the need to do that. So this was actually a win for Binance. So the first ruling to come out of the judge was actually a win for Binance. So this is actually good for Binance, kind of setting the tone a little bit. I think that the SEC overreached in asking for a freeze of the assets, and obviously the judge thought maybe that they overreached as well. So this is actually a win for Binance. So CZ can put this one, a feather in his cap on this one, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come. But yeah, Binance actually won that one. Let's see here. Damn, I probably closed the wrong article out. I did. But I had another article up where the SEC is saying excuse me, was saying that they expect to answer Coinbase's lawsuit, the lawsuit that Coinbase has against the SEC. They expect to have an answer to the court and Coinbase within 4 months. So, they gave them 4 months. We'll figure out what the SEC has to say. So it's one of them things where I guess we'll figure it out, right? In 4 months. I don't know if you have clear regulation. I don't know why it takes you 4 months to answer something, but that's the government, and they move how they move, right? I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen in a different way, because I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you, right? Let's see here. Brian, good morning, Brian. How are you, man? I want to play. Excuse me, guys. I want to play for you guys the actual Hinman lawyer and his interpretation of these Hinman emails, because we've kind of been through this again. We've been through this. We talked about this, so I want you guys to hear it as well. So
on June 14th, 2018, then SEC Director of...
Tell me if you guys can hear this. All right, let me know. I'll start this over. Let me know if you guys can hear this or not.
Corporation Finance William Hinman gave a high-profile speech where he declared that a token is not a security when it becomes, quote, sufficiently decentralized. But internal emails and documents show that senior SEC officials repeatedly warned Hinman that his speech wasn't true to the law and would greatly confuse the markets even more than they already were. Now, after more than 2 years and 7 court orders, we can finally share some of what we found in the Hinman speech documents. The SEC head of trading and markets warned Hinman that he was making up factors that, quote, go beyond the typical Howey analysis, as in not in the law, and that the speech could lead to not just confusion, but greater confusion on what is a security. Hinman ignored him.
If the network on which the token or coin is to function is sufficiently decentralized, and the purchasers no longer have a reasonable expectation that a person or a group is going to carry out essential managerial or entrepreneurial efforts, those assets might not represent an investment contract.
The same official told Hinman he should tie his speech, quote, more closely and explicitly to the Howey analysis. Hinman not only ignored him, but deliberately created factors beyond those identified by the Supreme Court in the Howey case.
I wanted to just note a few things. This list is not meant to be exhaustive, but these are things that we look at.
The SEC's own general counsel warned specifically that it's legally irrelevant if someone retains a stake in a token and is motivated to take action to increase its value, and that Hinman should delete it from the speech. And once again, Hinman ignored them and said without any legal support that it was important to ask.
Has that person or group retained a stake or other interests in the digital asset such that it would be motivated to expend efforts to cause an increase in the value of the digital asset?
Both Trading and Markets and the General Counsel also disagreed with Hinman's belief that if a network was sufficiently decentralized, information asymmetries would no longer exist, noting that a network creator would likely have more information than a retail holder, using Vitalik Buterin as an example. They warned Hinman that by creating this, quote, other category and focusing on information asymmetries, he was exposing a regulatory gap that the SEC may not have the jurisdiction to fill. Again, Hinman ignored them.
As the network becomes more truly decentralized, the ability to even to identify a promoter or to make the and someone that could actually make the requisite disclosures becomes in many cases difficult or and perhaps much less meaningful.
On June 4th, Hinman wrote that he didn't see a, quote, need to regulate Ether as a security, and set up a call with Ethereum's co-founder, Vitalik Buterin, later that week to, quote, confirm our understanding. On June 11th, the SEC's own general counsel advised against including any direct statement about Ether in the speech because it would be difficult for the SEC to, quote, take a different position on Ether in the future. The next day, Trading and Markets wrote that the statements about Ether were, quote, likely to create more confusion. Hinman ignored all of them and decided to make headlines, picking winners and losers instead.
Moreover, putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, based on my understanding of the present state of Ether, the Ethereum network, its decentralized structure, we believe current offers and sales of Ether are not securities transactions.
The emails show that Hinman knew he wasn't following the law. He knew he was making things up, and he knew that his speech would result in greater confusion in an already confused market. But Hinman went ahead with the speech anyway, and the SEC, despite knowing all this, touted the speech repeatedly. The SEC chairman himself pointed market participants to the speech.
Bill Hinman recently outlined the approach we take to evaluate whether a digital asset is a security, and I encourage you to take a look at Bill's speech, which is available on our website.
The SEC knew the speech didn't follow the law. The SEC knew the speech would create greater confusion, and the SEC knew Hinman was making things up. So why is the Hinman speech still on the SEC's website? Why was it ever allowed to be given at all? And why has the SEC pushed a policy of regulation by enforcement, falsely insisting the rules are clear? On June 4th,
So that's the issue with the Hinman speech, is that the SEC knew that it was inaccurate, right? And that what's up, Cats? And what's up, Brian? How are you? Good morning. I'm glad you guys came through today. Good morning. Happy to see you up and at it with us this morning. So that is the issue with the Hinman speech. It's the fact that, you know, like when you look at it, all throughout the buildup, you know, to that speech, Hinman was given direction that a lot of what he was about to say was factually inaccurate, or they couldn't back it up by law, and that it was going to create a lot of confusion in the market. And he went ahead and gave the speech anyways. Keep in mind that Hinman he sat on Ethereum's board while he gave this speech and worked at the SEC. So he had a stake in Ethereum, and which is probably one of the reasons why he in this speech called it a commodity. He was on the board, right? So when you look at this, the speech itself, if he would have gave it and nothing, you know, the SEC would have said nothing about it, it wouldn't have been a big deal. The problem is that the SEC then turned around and touted this speech, as you can see from the SEC chair. They touted this speech as something that this is how we regulate crypto, knowing that it was factually inaccurate. And not only that, they posted it on their website and actually pointed people to it to go watch it about how they evaluate cryptocurrency. So even though all throughout they're saying it's factually inaccurate, they can't back it up by law, they can't back it up at all, and actually it blows holes in the system, they still went ahead and you know, touted this thing as the best speech ever. So it doesn't put them in the best light. So that's basically what's going on with the Hinman emails and why they wanted them released. I expected more meat on the bone in the emails. I expected, you know, a little bit more than what we got. But you know what? It still shows that the SEC knew behind the scenes what they were doing was wrong, and they went ahead and did it anyways. So, you know, I think I think the judge isn't going to look. The judge already seen these emails long before we did, so it's not going to affect the decision of XRP. It will affect the decision, but not in the not in the immediate. They've already seen these emails. They've already read them. They've already looked at them. 15 million could change your mind pretty quickly. Laughing out loud. 15 million could change your mind, Brian, real quick. 15 million could make you a believer in something you didn't necessarily believe in before. For $15 million, I tell you whatever you want to hear. Shit. As I'm sitting on an island, I'll tell you whatever you want to hear for 15 million. But that's what everybody waited for yesterday. That were Hinman emails. That's how it came out. But as you can see, it's really a blast on the SEC with these emails. Not so much a groundbreaking. This is what's a security. This is what's a commodity. It's more or less just saying that the SEC doesn't know themselves, and they put out false advertisement, basically. So that's kind of where this thing started and ended, right? So we'll see what happens now. But I wanted to share with you guys another little video because I was cracking up this morning about this. 15 million will do a lot. Yeah, 15 million. For 15 million, I tell you whatever you want to hear, man. So I'm gonna share this video just because, like, I was cracking up at this video this morning. And the only reason I was cracking up at it is because, I was doing some research on some other stuff. And it's a video about our boy Gary's testimony. And I think why Gary wants to why they want to fire Gary, right? And everybody goes back and forth about why they want to fire him and, what he wants to do and all this and that, right? What he's doing, what he's not doing. But I think that this senator doesn't get enough credit for laying this argument out of why Gary should be removed, immediately. What do you say? Hinman's last day. Hinman's last day drops lawsuit and gets paid 15 million. 50 million from one of the ETH. Yeah, Brian. That's what I'm saying. And he's he was on the Ethereum board, right? Which means he had a stake in whether or not Ethereum was considered a commodity or a security, which is a little bit hypocritical, right? Big Watch dude, what's going on, man? Good morning. Brian, I'm glad you're here this morning. Cats too, man. Good to see you guys this morning. Come to hang out with us. So again, tell me if you guys can hear this. I think that this congressman lays out pretty much why Gary needs to be fired. If you listen to this and listen to it all the way through, let me know if you guys can hear it. But I think this is the argument for why Gary needs to be fired.
Gentleman yields back. We'll now go to the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Donald, for 5 minutes.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Gensler. Last but not least, why don't we just get to it? The commission has been extremely active on the rulemaking front during your tenure at the agency's helm. Dozens of rules proposed and issued, many overlapping in scope and topic. Many of the new rule proposals also relate to security-based swap markets and may duplicate the requirements only recently implemented. Have you considered the impacts of proposing new and additional regulatory burdens on this market when the full effects of Title VII rules are still unknown? And secondarily, just as important, have you done a fulsome analysis on the impact of the rules market, specifically as they relate to market liquidity?
With regard to the securities-based swap market, I think it's 3 different rule proposals, and each of them we have done full economic analyses, which is put out to the public comment. And that's related to the swap execution facilities in the swaps markets, relates to large trader reporting as a separate rule proposal. And thirdly, we made a proposal around anti-manipulation in the markets. A number of these are actually required by Congress. The swap execution facilities for sure.
Well, while we're on the position of rules, let me answer this question. It's actually a follow-up from my colleague, Mr. Norman. Your climate disclosure rule, 500 pages. You say that that's the way we can have uniformity in disclosure, but what provision are you using to create authority for a large climate disclosure when Congress never gave you one?
Congress did give us authority around disclosures in both of our first acts, 1933 Act and 1934 Act.
Chairman Gensler, can you honestly sit there and tell me that in 1933 and 1934, Congress actually anticipated climate disclosure rules?
They didn't anticipate many things. It was 90 years ago, but what they did anticipate is that companies needed to be truthful in their disclosures and
Truthful in their disclosures around their financial practices, around assets, liabilities, earnings per share, return on equity, and I can go on and on and on. But potential climate risks, Congress never anticipated that. Never.
No, it's broader than that, sir, because it's also companies today are already making significant disclosures about climate risk.
But if they do that of their own volition, that doesn't give you the authority to make everybody do it. Just because some are doing it doesn't mean you have to make sure everybody does it.
We, with all respect,
Chairman Glenser, do you disclose how many blue shirts you own? Should we be able to pass a law that makes everybody disclose how many blue shirts they own?
companies that are in the business of raising money from the public are supposed to.
Chairman
make
Gensler, every publicly traded
disclosures.
company raises money. Every one of them does it. That's why they're in the public markets.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you get to arbitrarily create some rule out of thin air that we never granted you to then make them regulate on climate emissions. We never did that.
They are already making disclosures and it's bringing.
Yeah, but you don't have the
consistency
authority to
in
make it
terms of-
uniform because we never gave you the authority. You are making a determination and a definition without congressional authority. Yes or no?
We do have authority, sir.
You're making a determination and a definition without congressional authority.
The authority.
Yes or no?
It's the same authorities. that
Yes
we
or no?
used to- With all respect, sir, it's the same authorities that we used when we said you had to disclose material risk, but you have to disclose management discussion and analysis.
But material risk and management discussion goes to the actual operations of the business itself. What you're talking about is something dealing with the outside aspects associated with the business. I'm gonna reclaim my time and move on to something else. You said earlier in another line of questioning that the players in the digital asset space don't have a choice, that they have to comply with the rules. But once again, Congress has never given you a framework for regulating digital assets. Where are you pulling that one from?
With all respect, sir, we disagree on this.
Oh, I can see
Congress-
we disagree a lot, Chairman, because we're not giving you authority. You're just taking it. I think that's
No,
part of the
no.
issue right now.
With all respect, Congress painted with a broad brush when they set up the SEC, and I quote Thurgood Marshall, which is one of the greatest.
Congress
justices-
painted with a broad brush in 1933 and 1934, not in 2023. We've not touched that. It's a new industry. One last quick question, because I'm concerned about your agency. You have some of the highest turnover amongst the agencies. Do you think you have the manpower to actually regulate digital assets, considering all the other rulemaking you're engaged
We
in?
actually have 6 to 7% turnover, which is consistent with the other federal financial.
I would disagree.
regulators.
OPM would say otherwise, Chairman Gensler. Hey, real quick, last question. I think it might have came up. You were Hillary Clinton's CFO in the campaign, right?
It's part of my history.
Were you? Yes or no?
In 2016.
Did you facilitate the payment for the Steele dossier since you were CFO of the Hillary Clinton campaign?
Sir,
Yes or no? Yes or no?
that was not.
You're under oath, Chairman Gensler. Yes or
I
no?
know. I was not something I was aware of.
I yield back the rest of my time. Thank you, Chairman.
So I don't think that congressman gets enough credit for really putting Gary out there and saying, if you listen to what he says, he's saying he hits right on the fact that, you know, he's doing things that Congress aren't approving him to do. He's you know, he's making rules from and you know, just going and just carte blanche, you know, just doing whatever. And not only that, he hits on the rules that Gary's using from 1930s, right? And what he's saying is your rules from 1930s don't even make sense today, right? So whether he's talking about the climate change or digital assets or whatever, the line of questioning that he gave him just put Gary on the spot to say, you're doing things that, you don't even have the authority to do, nor do you even have the manpower to do, nor do you even know, like, and he asked him, like, what, when it comes to digital assets, what framework are you using? Because Congress never even gave you a framework to operate under, right? And this is the argument that we're having today. This is the argument that we're having back and forth today with the SEC and these companies and Congress and the SEC. So this congressman really laid it out, and really, if you just go back and you listen to everything he says, I mean, you can't get much clearer than that, And Gary didn't have an answer. Like he kept going back to 1930s law, and when you say, back in the 1930s, they can't predict cryptocurrency. They couldn't predict climate change. So you're operating in rules in which Congress never gave you the authority to operate under. That's a powerful argument. That's a powerful argument that I don't think that the SEC can overcome that argument. Dirty Gary didn't even see that one coming. Nah, when he questioned him about Hillary, no, Gary got complete blindsided by that. He didn't even have an answer. Gary owns tons of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Brian, he owns a ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum. The United States government owns tons of Bitcoin and Ethereum. They own tons of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, when you look at that, like, it's, why wouldn't they? I mean, that the United States government owns tons of Bitcoin and Ethereum because they've taken it from other places, exchanges that they've taken over, people that people that were caught, stealing Bitcoin and Ethereum, that, they've taken their hard drives. I mean, they've taken their cold storages, and all that. So they own so much that, I mean, it's to the point now where they got put on blast about how much Bitcoin they owned, and they had to tell the American people that they plan on dumping it in the market over the next 12 to 18 months. And they own a lot that's getting ready to be dumped into the market. So, these things, I'm pretty sure they don't want to dump it into the market at $25,000. I'm pretty sure that they would much rather dump it into the market at $60,000, but they got to get Gary out of the way first. And that's half of the problem. So how much BTC did they take from some Silk Road? A lot. And just think about how much BTC they took from that one dude that they caught in Miami, who schemed a whole bunch of people out of Bitcoin, and he had it on all of these ledgers, and they ended up taking all that. And can they really backtrack to who owns what in BTC and give it all back? Well, if the answer to that question is no, then guess who owns it? The federal government owns it. So because the federal government owns it, then they have the ability to sell it. And like I said, they would much rather sell it at $60,000 than they would at 25, right? But they got to get Gary out of the way in order to make these sales, right? So because Gary keeps taking the market. Every time the market has a positive swing, Gary sues somebody to make it come down. Good looks like the what would you say, Ken? You jumped on me here. Hold on. Good looks like the dude that sits alone. Gary looks like the dude that sits alone in the corner. Gary was probably the dude that got picked on in school, and now he's just Ken. Gary looks like the dude that got picked on in school, and now he's just, he's just trying to get back at everybody. Like he looks like, I don't know. I ain't gonna go there because I could probably say something, get my YouTube taken down, but I'll just leave it right there. Ken Grip doing yeah, everybody laughing at Ken because that was funny, man. That was funny. I like it, Ken. But I could probably say something, but I'm not gonna get my YouTube taken down. So I'll let you guys say it in the chat. So I'm gonna let you guys go for the morning, but I did wanted to share them 2 videos with you guys and have a little bit of conversation just to kind of let you guys know where I'm at with the situation. Like, you know, like I understand why Gary needs to go. I understand, you know, what the deal is, and you can see it in this testimony that the congressmen are actually ready to make this move. I think they're ready. If you go back and you look at this line of questioning, they're ready to go ahead and make a change. And ultimately, the congressmen are the boss, right? They're Gary's boss. So when they're ready to make a change, you know, I think that they'll make that change, and I think it's going to happen. So I think you know, I think it'll happen sooner rather than later. What effect that'll have on the current lawsuits that are out there, we'll see. But I think, you know, there's definitely precedent to let Gary go, based on his testimony, based on everything that's going on. There's definitely some precedent there. But you know, I think it's gonna happen. Don't play the Dixon cider. Yeah, I can't play them all. Like literally, like there's a bunch of them in there. But I just wanted to kind of lay out the argument for him to get fired, right? Like, what is that argument? And that argument is the fact that he's out here making rules that he doesn't have the ability to make. All right, XX, I'll see you guys tomorrow. 50K BTC was taken, Brian. Yeah. From Silk Road. Brian. Just gonna make sure I'm not missing anything here. Somo, how much was taken from the dude they caught in Miami who ran that big Bitcoin scheme? How much was taken from him? It was millions. I thought it was millions. If you're still here, Selmo, I know you would have the answer to that. Cats, man, I'm so happy you dropped by this morning, man. I'm happy. Thanks, D. Later. Yeah, don't forget Dr. Rob's space today at noon, guys. So we'll be there. We'll probably be talking about some of this stuff, but you know, not a lot of crazy news today. But we do have that FOMC meeting today, which I expect to be completely uneventful. So you know, we'll see what happens, but I expect it to be uneventful, guys. So I expect nothing. So, you know, go ahead, check it out. Pay attention. Love all you guys. Stay up and you know, make sure that you guys are trading safe and be safe. Watch your money, watch the market. Noon is high. You know, watch your money. And yeah, Ken. So it'll be about 5 p.m. for you. Watch your money, stay safe. Make sure that everybody's keeping their feet to the ground and making sure that you're watching your wallets and watching the market. So I appreciate everybody. Appreciate every single one of you. See you guys tomorrow morning. Big watch. I know you'll be on the space today at 12. Listen to you there, Ken. Hope you're there. Doc, gonna put on a good space today. So with that, guys, have a great day. I'm out, man.